Hello guys, in this video I'm going to be creating a React application and a Node.js application, and then I will connect them to each other so that you can understand how to connect, so that we can understand how to connect a React application to Node.js server. And for that, first create an empty folder anywhere on your computer, and I will name this as project 1, and then click on the project folder, and then click on the file path, and then type cmd if you are using Windows, and then this is going to open command line for you. And here I will first create the React application in a folder that's named Frontend. So I will say npx create React app frontend. As you can see, my frontend folder is being created, and now I can downsize this, minimize this, and now I will create another folder, this time for the Node.js, and I will name that backend, and then click on the backend folder, and now again click on the file path and again type cmd, and now I am inside the backend folder. So as you can see, I have two command lines, one for backend, one for frontend. So I am now in the backend, and the first thing that I want to do is I will step back to the project 1. I will step back to the other folder that contains my project folder, and now I will type as code project 1. This means that the project 1 is going to be opened with Visual Studio Code. And I will type again. Nope, I will click again, but my enter button is not working. And now Visual Studio Code is opening. And as you can see, our backend folder is here, our frontend folder is here. Frontend folder is not ready yet. React has been downloaded. And click on the backend folder and click on the new file icon and type server.js. So as you can see, now we have a server.js file, and go back to the command line. I guess it's this one. Nope. It's this one, yeah. So let's say cd project 1 cd backend. Now I am inside the backend folder again, and here I will type npm initiate everything. So actually, these are like regular steps that you need to take to create a Node.js application. And our package.json file is ready. And now I will need to install Express package, of course. And I guess then it's going to be done for the backend. So the backend packages has been downloaded, and it was just Express. So now I can say const express is equal to require express and const app. I'm not going to be explaining all the lines so that it's not going to be 2 hours video. And here I will say app-get. I'll create a root, and then afn for arrow function. If you are using Visual Studio Code, you can just type afn, and it's going to give you back an arrow function. So I will say request and response, and here I will say response send a simple string, maybe I can say hello, and then I can create the server. Const server is equal to app.listen. There are some other ways to do that, but I prefer to do it in this way. Process env port, and then or 4000. Be careful here. I intentionally say that it should be 4000 so that it's not going to be it's not going to have a conflict. If I say 3000, 3000 is also going to be used by the React application. So to make it different, I say 4000, and then I will say const port number is equal to server address and address function, and then port, and then console local, and I will use some backticks. I will say port is open on $sign in curly braces and port number. So that's the simple syntax for our Node.js file. I will save it one more time. I will click this, and I guess this is the React app. Yeah, this is the backend folder. So I will clear the backend folder, and now I will say node server.js. Why I'm saying node server.js? I assume you know that, but let me show you again. I'm saying node server.js because my start script is node server.js. That's why I'm saying node server.js. And now I will say node server.js and click on the enter, and as you can see, port is open on 4000. Let's check if it is really open. I will say 127.0.0.1, and yeah, and it says back hello. So the node server is working perfectly, and now we will check our React application. So as you can see, my React folder has been created, and it has been named as Frontend. So I will just go inside the Frontend folder by saying cd Frontend, and now I will clear the command line, and as you can see, I'm inside the Frontend folder here. And now I need to say npm start to start our React application. It will take a few seconds. We will also be seeing if our React application is working fine. And as you can see, React application is open, has used the port number 3000, and our Node.js has used the port number 4000. So let's wait. Yeah, it's working fine. And now, I'm going to make a cleanup for our React application. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's close the backend folder. Let's open the frontend folder. So everything that I'm not going to be needing, I'm going to be deleting them. Test deleted, logo, report web file, setup tests deleted, and then go inside the public folder, and apart from index.html, delete everything else. So I can just maybe select them with shift, and then I will delete them. They are clean. And now go inside the index.html and delete all these lines that we don't need them. We don't need any of them. We don't need this one as well. We don't need no script. And I believe that's it, for index.html. Our index.html is clean now. We can close the public folder, and we don't need two CSS files. Definitely we don't need two CSS files. I will just cut all things inside the app CSS and paste it inside the index CSS. But am I gonna leave it like that? No, I'm gonna be deleting everything below app. So delete everything, and delete this code, and delete all these font family. Just name it as Verdana, and that's it. And maybe a background color, so that we will understand if it really works. And I believe that's it. And now let me check the index.js. We don't need those lines. We don't need this line as well. We don't need, we need index.js, index.js of course. And let's check app.js. We don't need any of these. Nothing of here we don't need. and we will also delete the logo SVG, and I believe it should work now. I will just say React is working. Save it, close this, and close this, and close this Frontend folder also, and now go to your, or maybe we can directly go, yeah. Now as you can see on our React application, React is working. So after our cleanup, everything is fine, React is working. So now we will open our code editor again, and I will also open the Word. I have created this Word document so that we can follow up all the steps one by one. So we have created the main folder, and we have created the backend folder also. I'll just paint them, and then we made a test and it works. And then for the front end, we didn't do that actually. We need to download React Router DOM. So let's, as you can see, I will just clean up the command line, and I am now inside the front end, and I will just say npm install React Router DOM and save -- save, and I guess that's gonna be fine. And let's check the other steps. Front end, it works. We have tested, and again we have cleaned up everything. And now let's see, we need to create three functional components. And now I'm inside the front end. As you can see, I will click on the source, and then here I will create another folder called components, and inside the components I will click and say home.js, and maybe another component named articles.js, and maybe another one named about.js. And to create a React component, you can just say RFC, I believe, and it's creating a functional component for you, which is actually practical. So I again assume that you know some React. I will just copy this and close that, and I will say RFC, RFC, and then again, some people, they prefer to leave that export default here, but somehow I prefer it to leave it down, so that I think the code is cleaner in that way and more understandable. And let's create something for the home.js as well, RFC, and here I will again cut and I will say home, save it and close it. So everything here is done. Now let's go back to our document so that we will not miss any step, and we can paint this. Oops, it became horrible. So we can paint maybe just this part. And now, as you can see here, this is the app component. We will define the root for the app. So let's open the app component here, and as you can see, the app component right now, it doesn't have anything. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna be copy pasting these so that we're not gonna be spending too much time with defining routes. So I'm using the new syntax. It's not switch anymore. It's, as you can see, it's router, routes, it's routes, and all of our three components, they have been imported to the app.js. And here, home component for the main page, and articles component for the articles root, and about component for the about root. And let's save it, and I believe that's it. And now let's go back to here. on the back end it says change. Yeah, you know, we have already done this step because the port number of our backend code, we made it 4000. So, and now as you can see here, this is actually how you connect React to Node.js. So this is like the main step is actually this. So maybe I will just copy this, and then here I will close this app.js, I will close source folder, I will close frontend, and click on the backend, and then go to the package.json of the backend, and here, as you can see, here is the test. We don't need the test actually, and I will just go down and copy paste. As you can see, the new script is now this, so we can delete this script. But before deleting, I would like to show you one more thing. Pay attention to here that in the new scripts it's server, it's not start anymore, so the server is not server.js. Okay, so delete the old script. Maybe one more. Oops, no, it became too much. Why it says debug? No, I don't understand why it says debug. Okay. So as you can see here, we first create the script for the server, then create the script for the front end, for the client. Actually, I will delete this, and I will say dot front end, and then to start both of them at the same time, your React app and your Node server, to start both of them at the same time, we will use the do option here, and it's going to be concurrently killing others on fail and npm run server, npm run client. So that's how it is, guys. I mean, you can just copy paste this. You don't need to, you know, you can copy paste this, but write it by yourself so that you can understand it better. And here, as you can see, there is two dots here. Pay attention to here, because I have created two folders, backend and frontend. So it means that this package.json needs to exit its backend folder, then enter inside the frontend folder. That's why two dots here. One dot is exiting it, and the other dot is letting it go inside the other folder. So that's it, you know. That's actually the main part, the main step of this video. I will save it now, and this is the backend package.json. Okay, don't mix it with the frontend package.json, and close it. And now let's go back to our Word document so that we will not miss any steps here. And now for the front end, you know, now this proxy line, I mean, we can add it or we can leave it. I mean, it's optional, but you know, sometimes you will have some coarse error messages for some reason. So to prevent these coarse messages, better to add these to your front-end package.json. Okay, so let's go to the front-end package.json, and we will find the slint, yeah, and then just add it here, and that's it, you know, proxy http localhost 4000, and that's just fine. And apart from that, we have also done this step, and now it's now we can test it. Let's go to, what is this? It says port is open. We don't need the port open now anymore. And here is the front end, just clear it, and here is the back end, just clear it. And you know, to start our application, we will every time need to enter inside the backend folder, and then we can say npm run do. So let's see if it's gonna work. Port is open on 4000. Pay attention to the lines here right now. It should say, we couldn't see it. yeah, starting the development server. So let's close this. Let's close this. So as you can see, now it's working. Localhost 3000. There is home, and if I say articles, it says articles. As you can see here, it's a bit small letters, but yeah, you can still see it, I guess. And if I say about, or the about route, and it says about. So actually our routing works, but still we don't know. I mean, we are not 100% sure if our Node.js is properly connected to React.js. And to do that, we will send some data from Node.js to the front end. We will send some data from backend to the front end to test this, okay? And to do that, first close this and then close the front end folder here, and let's go back to our Word document and paint it. And you know, this step is also important. It's especially important because, let me open the front end folder here. So if you don't say npm run build, you know, your application may work on your computer, but if you one day upload it to Heroku, for example, or some platforms, it may not work properly. So that's why better to say npm run build, and you will not lose anything, okay? Just do it. And now let's paint this tab as well. And now yeah, we will add some more code to our backend, and I will explain you why we added. Let's open the backend. Let's go to the server.js. As you can see, our server.js now is in this form. Just grab these two lines and delete them, and yeah, now we have these, or maybe no need to delete them so that you're not going to be confused. You know, I have just added, I'll delete this. I have just added these 4 lines here, and actually they're not needed, let's say, but you know, you need to add them in any proper serious project. So that's why I also added them. And as I say, you know, for this exercise, these are optional, but we need to add them again. So const path, why we need it? Because if we would like our backend folder to properly access the front end folder, then we need to use the path, and this path is going to help us to define the file path accordingly. So why we need that? Why we need these 2 lines at the end? At the end we need them because when we upload this project to Heroku again, and if it might give error, you know, I mean, without them you will probably have some errors. So better to add these 2 lines. This line is 1 and this line is 2. And what about this URL encoded and express JSON? And actually these are needed if you are gonna, I mean, these are needed for post and put method. Actually, it's not needed for get method. Here, as you can see, we only have get method, so we don't need them. But as I say again, you know, for any project that you do, sooner or later, I mean, like these things, although we don't need them for this project, we still need them for any other project. So that's why I decided to put them in any case. And yeah, and I have also added some explanation here. What does express JSON means, and what does express URL encoded means, and yeah, you can read it. And yeah, so that's how it is, guys. And let's save it. Let's go back to our document. I guess we have done this, so soon we will come. And right now, as you can see, guys, we will create another route, this time to send some data. And as you can see, the only route that we have right now is app-get, but we will need more than that actually. And actually I can delete this because it will not have any effect on the front end, so I can delete this. And I will just name this as test, and function request response. So as you can see, there is a object here, and this object is stored in an array, and then I'm saying that response and JSON stringify this variable which contains an array. And then so the JSON stringify, I have again added the explanation here. JSON stringify is converting a JSON object, a JavaScript object or a variable into a JSON string. And why we are doing this? Because that's how the traffic with the servers are done. I mean, if you want to send some data to a server, or if you want to receive some data, the data that is being exchanged it's in JSON format. So okay guys, so let's save this, and now we will again go back to our folder. Let's paint this out, and now this is our, I will just copy paste all of it again. I will explain it to you, don't worry. And now open the front end, go to the source folder, click on the components and home. As you can see, our home component has nothing, so let's delete all of it and paste the new component. And now I will just explain the line by line. So we have imported useState and useEffect here, and I have created a variable here by using the useState, and then we use the useEffect to fetch. As you see, I mean, the fetch is fetching data from an API. In this case, the API is test4. It's test. It's not test4 because we have created a root. Let me show it to you. So we have created the root for this test. Where is it? Yeah, for this root. So whoever visits this root, they will have some data in the JSON stringify format. So let's go back it. Yeah. So what I'm saying that I'm here by saying fetch, we say that we would like to fetch that data, whatever is present in this test root, and then we will convert it to JSON. We will convert it to JavaScript object by using the response JSON method. And response JSON, as far as I know, because I mean on the internet there's not like much information about everything. So as far as I know, response JSON is grabbing, because if I don't do this, if I just say grab, fetch the data, whatever is inside there, it will give me a ton of irrelevant information that I'm not going to be needing. So to prevent that, we are using response JSON method. Actually JSON method. Response is just a variable name, but yeah. So we are using the response JSON method to target the body part of that response and to convert it to a JavaScript object. And then what I do, then I set my data, which I have declared here, my data, and set my data, and then I set my data to this JSON JavaScript object that I have converted, that I have get from fetch. But I assume you already know how to, what does all this means. So I will just be moving on. And this means that our useEffect is gonna fire only when the component renders, and only one time when the component renders. And here in the return statement, as you can see, I have created div, and I say that my data, and it's here, my data should map whatever is inside it, and then create a paragraph for each of the data, record, let's say, because I will just show you what's inside the, it's here. As you can see, this is our array and this is our object, and inside the object you see, these are keys and these are values. So ID 0, name Schwan, city immediate, age something, And actually you can also see some people using codes for the names as well, and it's fine, you know. For JavaScript object, names and keys, they can be used with I mean names as well, they can be used with codes or not. It's not going to make any difference. So why I said my data map, because I mean otherwise this function is not gonna, I mean we will not see anything else. So that's why I have said map, or I can say, or maybe I shouldn't say, I will show it to you later. But that's how, imagine that I have sent this data from Node server, and then I fetch that data, and then now I am printing that data inside this div by using the map function. So let's save this, and now you know we don't need the front end anymore. I'll just close that. Yeah, I will now clear up the backend, and as you can see, pay attention every time. Now I am on the backend folder. So I will say node, not node, npm run do. Let's see if it's gonna work. Just hope that it's gonna work. Yeah, as you can see, it's something and 0. Why it's something and 0? Because it printed the age, the age value and the ID value of our object. So that's how it is, guys. Now our Node.js plus React is working just fine, and you can send any data from server to the React by using the roots here, and it will be like the more you do, the more it will get easy. So here I send a JavaScript object, but you can like send anything, you know, and that's how it is. But one more small thing, if you don't want to use the map function, maybe you can use, I'll just delete it for you. You can say JSON stringify, I'm not sure if I say it right. Yeah, JSON stringify my data, and I think that's gonna work as well. You will now have all the object. Yeah, as you can see, this is how it is. Now you have all the object here. This data is now on the React, and it's been sent by the Node.js server. So that's it, guys. One more time I want to show you what's the most critical thing here. The most critical thing is actually in the backend folder inside the package.json. It's those scripts here. I mean, these are the most critical thing that you should be paying attention. And that's it, guys, and see you next time. Bye bye.